Good afternoon, I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Welcome to Camnet TV Midday News. The headlines. DEC arrests 3 UNZA and 2 ZCAS students for drug trafficking. Bars and nightclub partially closed for 14 days as Zambia records over 800 cases. Details coming through after this commercial. Hello, have you heard about UNZA? Do you know that you can advertise for as low as 150 kwacha for 30 seconds? Well, UNZA is here. Advertise on UNZA between 17 hours and 18 hours. Just tell us about the services that you offer and we'll gladly put you on the market. For more details, you can contact +260 953 995099. +260 962 444 726 or +260 971 177 467. UNZA, allowing your business to grow. And now the media news in detail. The Private Security Association of Zambia, through its president Francis Mukuka, has expressed concern at the high level of corruption in the operation of security companies in the country. Mr. Mukuka explains that investigations have revealed that the lucrative contracts in the sector are only being awarded to companies with connection within the government system. Meanwhile, Zambia Union of Security Officers General Secretary Stephen Chanda says the running of security companies in Zambia has been hijacked by foreigners. Details in the following report.
Zambia's security industry has remained one of the least respected sectors, but yet plays a very important role in keeping the peace of the country. Security guards have continued to work under hard conditions and their wages have remained unsustainable. And yet, security officers have continued to guard multi-billion projects, businesses, and huge sums of money while their stomach ran empty without any allowances.
Some of the challenges which we face in security, and number one is lower payments. Find that you work from as early as 06 to somehow 18 hours, and they give you 800 kwacha. Yes, and you find that even the working conditions are not okay. Sometimes you don't have proper working suits. We just source for ourselves. There's no lunch, and you can't even support your family as in properly. So maybe the government can also come with a policy of somehow assisting us as well as they are doing to our fellow colleagues. Yes, maybe they can look into our union, our salaries, so that at least, because we are getting 900 kwacha, 800, even some of our colleagues are even getting as low as 700 kwacha.
The Zambian Congress of Trade Unions, ZCTU, says the security industry needs to be regulated as foreign security companies have made it difficult for the local industry to compete.
So the government has not been very, very helpful when it comes to securing the rights of the security officers. Because most of the security firms in this country have a leeway to operate within this country, which we have always said as trade unions that poses a national security risk when you allow too many security firms. Because these, operate on the basis of local and international communication systems. It will be good for government to ensure that the local firms are engaged more into matters of security rather than have the international security firms.
Local security companies are very willing to meet the minimum wage. How? It's by having this full support from the government. I always mention about a good contract. These are the companies that you and me, even our forefathers, are contributing to these companies. We call them, these are national cakes. Companies like ZESCO, ZAMBIA, ZRI, NAPSA, Workers' Compensation. So you find that these security companies are not given this opportunity to be given this contract to this local security company. If you find 2 or 3 local security companies mining this, you find that there are big top officials who are getting money. Every payment to these security companies, they're getting money from.
And the Zambia Union of Security Officers, ZCAS, has been waiting on government to come to their aid after having formulated policies and presenting them to government for consideration.
The only remedy to these problems that we are facing in the private school sector is to enjoy the industry. We were called by Parliament. We went there, we gave submissions, good submissions. Even I have documents. If you are near me or I've shown the documents, we have documents. And these recommendations were presented to the House. So we are waiting there. We are waiting for the outcome. If the outcome comes positive, then we'll say the matter has been on. But as of now, if the government also goes into this matter, then the problem will continue.
Many security officers have fallen victims of murder in trying to provide for their families, but yet their wages have remained so poor. It is a call to our government to consider implementing laws that will favor the security guards even as they vent to provide for their families. Prudence Chota for Camnet TV News.
In other news, the Lusaka City Council has announced that in view of cases of COVID-19, bars will only operate on a takeaway basis for 14 days. This entails that the bars have been partially closed to safeguard the people's lives. The decision has been arrived at following consensus between the Council, the Bars and Nightclub Owners Association of Zambia, held at the Civic Center on Wednesday.
Following the surge of the COVID-19 cases, with Lusaka being a hotspot, bars have been ordered with effect Wednesday to start operating on a takeaway basis for a period of 2 weeks. The decision was arrived at when Lusaka City Council officials and Bars and Nightclub Owners Association met and charted the way forward. Announcing the new measures, Lusaka Deputy Mayor Christopher Shakafuswa warned that any bar and nightclub owners who will fail to comply with the new measures risk their licenses being revoked.
It has been decided that bars and nightclubs will only operate on takeaway basis for the next 14 days. This is to allow them to deplete or sell the stock that they had gotten for the festive season. And we had wanted to close bars and nightclubs completely, but the association made reservations that we allow their members to sell the stock on takeaway basis.
The council has also suspended all social gatherings such as weddings and kitchen parties for the next 14 days with immediate effect, with funeral gatherings being restricted to only 50 close family members.
To announce that all social gatherings of any nature such as weddings, kitchen parties, matevetos are banned with immediate effect. Lusaka City Council will not be issuing any permits for these social gatherings. We also want to encourage the clergy, the political parties, that Lusaka City Council is discouraging the gathering of churches and the political parties due to the surge of the cases of COVID-19.
Meanwhile, the Bars and Association of Zambia President Peter Mwale says his organization will support the new measures put in place.
Has already been said, my appeal to all bar owners and nightclub owners across the country is that let us please adhere to the conditions that have been put. It is for our own good and our good of our patrons in these bars. Therefore, starting from today, as His Worship has put it, can we start selling all our merchandise on takeaway basis, strictly on takeaway basis? Don't admit patrons in our premises. If that is found, don't blame us. We work closely, Your Worship, with the local authorities to ensure that these conditions are adhered to.
Sharon Kalimbula, Camnet News, Lusaka.
The Drug Enforcement Commission DEC in Lusaka has arrested 3 University of Zambia third-year students for trafficking in over 30 grams of cannabis. The 3 UNZA students have been identified as Amadou Ba Mwanza 22, Saidi Kadjo Mwanza 22, and Kutonzwi Masela 24. DEC Public Relations Officer Teresa Katongo, in a statement to Camnet TV News, explained that the 3 students were found with 12.5 grams of special cannabis and 1 suspected sachet of heroin. Ms. Katongo further explained that 2 students from the Zambia Center for Accountancy Studies, ZCAS, and 3 other persons have also been arrested for trafficking in special cannabis. The 2 ZCAS students have been identified as Kachizia Mlenga 20 and Choma Chato 19, while others suspected are Shawa Mwale 23, Gift Kamwala 36, and Samson Sinkala 25 for trafficking in 19 sachets of special cannabis. The DEC has also arrested several other persons for the same offense of drug trafficking.
The Commission in Lusaka has arrested 7 people, who include 3 University of Zambia third-year students for trafficking in over 30 grams of cannabis, contrary to Cap 96 of the laws of Zambia. The 3 UNZA students, identified as Amadou Ba Mwansa, Sidi Kajo Mwansa, and Kitonzui Masala, were found with 12.5 grams of cannabis and 1 suspected sachet of heroin. Others arrested include Nema Kamara, age 19, Robinson Chibwe, age 28, Cloud Kabwe, a bus conductor, and Matthias Banda, also a bus driver, for trafficking in 21.5 grams of cannabis. The 4, while driving a motor vehicle registration number ALD 5604 Pajero IO, were also picked from UNZA and are believed to be major suppliers of drugs in the area. And in a related development, we have arrested 2 students from the Zambia Center for Accountancy Studies and 3 others for trafficking in special cannabis. Kachizia Mlenga and Choma Chato, both students at ZCAS, have been arrested and jointly charged with Shawa Mwale, Gift Kumwala, and Samson Sinkala for trafficking in 19 sachets of special cannabis. The variety of cannabis found with the suspects, and also referred to as special cannabis or cheese on the market, is suspected to be imported from a named country in Southern Africa and also believed to be more potent than the locally grown cannabis. Meanwhile, 3 youths of Chilenge in Lusaka have also been arrested for trafficking in suspected heroin. Those arrested and jointly charged include Innocent Kakulo, Ozias Kaundula, and Chungu Chomba for trafficking in 15 sachets of suspected heroin. The trio was picked at Chris Corner in Chilenge. And in Eastern Province, a special operation was conducted in Shabati village of Chipangali district on 2nd January 2021, where 2 people were arrested for unlawful cultivation of fresh cannabis plants weighing over 400 kilograms and trafficking in 25 grams of loose cannabis, contrary to Cap 96 of the laws of Zambia. The suspects, identified as Gift Banda and Yona Piri, both peasant farmers of Shabati village, have been arrested and jointly charged for unlawful cultivation of fresh cannabis plants intercropped with maize weighing 421 kilograms. And in count 2, Yona Piri has been separately arrested for trafficking in 25 grams of loose cannabis concealed in a black polythene sack found in his bedroom. Arrangements are being made for all suspects to appear before courts of competent jurisdictions at an appropriate time.
Well, that news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Midday News, but before we go, the headlines once again. Drug Enforcement Commission arrests 3 UNZA and 2 ZCAS students for drug trafficking. Bars and nightclubs partially closed for 14 days as Zambia records over 800 COVID-19 cases. Thank you for joining me. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Good afternoon.